This episode of Marijuana Today Daily is brought to you by the good folks over at Curaleaf, one of the leading vertically integrated cannabis operators in the U.S., with a total of 34 dispensaries, 12 cultivation sites, and 10 processing facilities. Curaleaf believes that cannabis is a powerful medicine and that it can help improve people's lives. They also know that they have a responsibility as a company to help educate their customers and the public at large about the best ways to utilize medical cannabis, which is why they spend so much time and energy on producing and deploying the right educational materials on their website and at their shops and facilities. Curaleaf also knows that without having world-class products to back up that education, they'd be servicing no one. So they've gotten really good at producing top-notch medical marijuana products. Whatever your needs are, there's a good chance that Curaleaf produces something that can help. And if it's CBD products that you need, their Curaleaf hemp line is there for you. Pop over to curaleaf.com to learn more about all the things that Curaleaf makes and to find the closest Curaleaf shop to you. Because there's no better way to experience the Curaleaf difference than by swinging in for a visit. One more time, that's curaleaf.com, spelled C-U-R-A-L-E-A-F, curaleaf.com. Good morning, Marijuana Nation. It's Tuesday, December 18th, 2018, and you're tuned in to episode 631 of Marijuana Today Daily. I'm your host, Shay Gunther, and I'll be walking you through today's marijuana news and headlines. As always, we have a full and busy day of cannabis news in our hands, so let's jump right into it. We kick off the day's news in New York State, where, as expected, Governor Andrew Cuomo announced yesterday that he wants his state to legalize adult use marijuana. Governor Cuomo has had a fairly quick and sudden evolution on this issue, as Tom Angel over at Marijuana Moment helpfully reminds us all that the governor was parroting prohibitionist talking points just a year ago. In a speech given yesterday at the New York City Bar Association, Governor Cuomo not only called for the legalization of adult use cannabis, but also pointed out the disparities that exist within the marijuana criminal justice system over how much money you have in your bank and the color of your skin. New York State's legislature spools back up next month, and it will be under the control of the Democratic Party, so the chances are pretty good that 2019 will be the year that the Empire State goes legal. Open up Tom's well-written story for more on this one. Things are moving quickly along in Massachusetts, as yesterday the Cannabis Control Commission gave the final sign-off to 2 adult use dispensaries to open up. Once those 2 new shops get up and running, Massachusetts will have a total of 5 open adult use stores, with 15 more waiting in the wings. The 2 shops that were given the nod yesterday are located in East Hampton and Wareham, located in the central and eastern parts of the state, respectively. Sales have been robust in Massachusetts in the first few weeks of legal adult use sales, with the first 2 shops to open reporting more than $7 million in sales in all. Boston 25 is a good story on this one that includes a helpful map showing where all of the state's adult use shops so far licensed are to be located. Our top stories wrap us down on the other side of the planet in New Zealand, where yesterday the government announced that it would be holding a binding nationwide referendum on the question of legalizing adult use marijuana. I don't claim to have any kind of handle on New Zealand politics, but from the sounds of it, marijuana legalization became an important policy issue for the government following last year's elections. And yesterday, New Zealand Justice Minister Andrew Little announced that a binding referendum on legalizing adult use marijuana would be held in the 2020 general elections. I reported on a big change in New Zealand for medical cannabis just last week. Those are the top stories for today. It's time for Marijuana Today Daily Headlines Blitz. Before we blitz out on headlines, let's quickly thank our sponsor, Curaleaf, one of the leading vertically integrated cannabis operators in the U.S., with a total of 34 dispensaries, 12 cultivation sites, and 10 processing facilities. Curaleaf has now helped more than 100,000 registered medical marijuana patients find relief with one of their quality Curaleaf brand products. Because Curaleaf operates in states requiring vertical integration, they've had the chance to get really good at developing top-notch medical cannabis products, from cultivation through packaging and processing. They also know how important CBD medicine is, so their Curaleaf hemp line of products are all made using properly tested hemp-derived CBD oil. Open up curaleaf.com to find where the closest Curaleaf shop is to you, as there's no better way to experience the Curaleaf difference than to go in and visit one of their many dispensaries. And don't forget, Curaleaf now also trades on the Canadian Securities Exchange as a public stock under the symbol CURA, which is spelled C-U-R-A. One last time, Curaleaf.com is where you want to go to learn more about this quickly growing company. That's Curaleaf.com. Thanks to all the good folks over at Curaleaf for helping support today's news. All right, time for the Blitz. Yesterday, the New Jersey Department of Health announced the winners of 6 new medical marijuana dispensary licenses. The state announced that those new licenses would be given out just this summer and received 146 applications in all. Those applications will be released publicly on the Department of Health's website sometime next year. Open up New Cannabis Ventures to see the full list of the 6 winners and where those new dispensaries will be located. Currently, New Jersey has 6 open medical shops, so the doubling of the number once the new stores are open should greatly expand patient access in the state. A bill under consideration in Oregon would offer some protections to people from being fired or not hired for a job because they happen to use marijuana. This is an issue mostly because federal law still considers cannabis to be illegal, so companies have a lot of sway over how badly they can treat their employees or potential hires because of cannabis use. The proposed bill in Oregon would ban companies from firing workers for failed marijuana drug tests, carving out a few exemptions for companies required by federal funding guidelines to maintain so-called drug-free workplaces. Best of luck to that bill. Tara Cole, a data scientist over at Cannabis Media, has a good guest piece up in New Cannabis Ventures diving into the numbers in Oklahoma in regards to that state's new medical marijuana program. We've touched on this storyline a bit here on the show, with no cap having been put in place in Oklahoma for the number of licensed medical cannabis businesses, which has resulted in thousands of newly licensed operators. Tara's piece does a good and insightful job at looking at some of those numbers. Worth a click over no matter where you hang your business hat. A class action lawsuit has been filed in the San Francisco County Superior Court seeking to bar state police from helping federal law enforcement agents persecute people for being involved in state legal cannabis. Back in September, we reported on a case of a state legal marijuana business that had a large stock of cannabis and cash seized by the California Highway Patrol. The money, just over $250,000, was handed over to the federal authorities by the CHP. The lawsuit filed late last week is a result of that seizure. John Schroyer's piece on this one is good if you're hungry for more details. As always, we have all the news we cover linked to on our website at mjtodaydaily.com and on our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily. Kyle Yeager over Marijuana Moments picked up on a new study released just yesterday that shows that the percent of teenagers who self-report that they use marijuana was lower this year than it was back in 2012, just before the first adult use states voted in new, more progressive cannabis laws. Open this one up if you want to click over to the study's results themselves. And keep it in mind for the next time you should hear some ignorant prohibitionist squawk about the kids. I suspect that the reality of legal pot is that when dorky parents start to consume, cannabis loses a little bit of cool. Put that in your fact pipe and smoke it, Kevin Sabet. With another piece on the headlines today, Tom Angel helpfully posted the full text of the marijuana reform amendment that Colorado Senator Cory Gardner has said that he's trying to push through this week, the final few days before the 2018 legislative season ends, presumably via a Trump government shutdown. Senator Gardner's amendment largely mirrors a bill he filed earlier this year with Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren and would free up states to experiment with marijuana legalization laws without the fear of federal interference. There's almost zero chance of anything actually happening with this one, but it's a worthy storyline to stay on top of nonetheless. This year's futile grandstand could easily become next year's newly passed bill. Finally, for this fine Tuesday, we have a story of disgusting hypocrisy in the realm of marijuana policy. President Rodrigo Duterte of the Philippines, a murderous leader with the blood of thousands on his hands from the death squads he's unleashed on his enemies, is now being said to be in favor of legalizing medical marijuana. This is a study of disgusting hypocrisy because one of the main targets of Duterte's murder squads have been street-level drug users and dealers. Yesterday, a spokesman for Duterte, who has bragged about personally pushing people out of helicopters and who is considered to be a great guy by our own president, Individual One, said his boss would sign any medical cannabis law that was, quote, consistent with his stand, unquote. Yeah, screw that guy. Those are the headlines and news for the day. I'll be back with you again tomorrow morning with another information-packed episode of Marijuana Today Daily. But in the meantime, if you have any stories to share or feedback to give, zip us an email to headlines@mjtodaydaily.com. And while you're clicking around the interwebs, swing over to our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily and visit our website at mjtodaydaily.com to find links to all the news we cover. Why is the alphabet different during December? There's no L. I gotta admit, that took me a minute to get when I first saw it. It's great. Thanks to our sponsor, Cureleaf, and to all of our awesome patron listeners for the support that makes this show possible. To join the illustrious ranks of the patron listeners yourself, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com and click on that big blue button at the top of the page that says Become a Patron. I'm your host, Shay Gunther. Thanks for tuning in, starting your day with marijuana today.
One take, Shay. One take.